Hey guys, what is up? It's Wigwam and welcome back to another episode of Help Me, I've Lost a Whole Building. Today's special guest star is Lost Castles. Lost Castles is an action RPG roguelike which is available on Steam right now. I'm personally no stranger to losing my soul, along with hundreds of hours of my life, to this sweet, sweet, tempting mistress that is a good roguelike. So, is Lost Castles the next Isaac here to steal 300 plus hours of my life away from me, or does it fall short of that sweet crack-like addiction? The gameplay in Lost Castles is simple enough to pick up. You start with a randomly generated character which has different stats, weapons, armor, and snazzy hairdo. You can also collect potions and books which are similar to pills and cards in Isaac, whereas they do random cool different effects. Some are positive, some are negative, and some are just weird. There's also all sorts of consumable items as well. You've got your money, your bombs, you've also got attack crystals, scarecrows, and food which you can use for health. You travel through 5 different areas, killing bosses at the end of each one, collecting all sorts of loot along the way. There's shops, there's enemies. It's all pretty standard roguelite stuff. But I think what really starts to set this game apart is the action RPG element of it. It's the left-right only style of combat that you probably are familiar with from Castle Crashers or Paper Mario, and much like in Castle Crashers and Paper Mario, I don't really like this style of combat. It just feels like my brain has to recalibrate to get used to it. Good news is once you get used to it, you do quickly start to figure out how to use it to your advantage by bunching up enemies, and pretty much just that. It's a good way to do it. Despite my own personal opinion, it does work well for the game, but I know there are other people out there like me that may be a little off-put by it. I can say, however, it's worth getting used to. Certain weapon styles will certainly make it a lot easier to get used to in the beginning. You'll want to start off mostly in the beginning using ranged weapons like the gun, which have a nice spread effect to them. Later, you'll start to play around with all the different weapon types though, like swords and spears and tridents and bows and double short swords and magic staffs and more. There's an impressive amount of variety in weapon styles in this game. And then every single one of those weapons has a variety of combination of stats, special effects like lightning and poison and fire, plus each weapon has a special attack like summoning an attack crystal, giving yourself stronger bullets, turning enemies into frogs, and so on, and so on, and so on. There's a huge variety of combat styles to play with in this game. I don't know why I turned into Donald Trump for that last sentence. Huge! My hands are not tiny. They're huge. If you want to be good at this game though, you're going to have to master all the weapon types because you don't know what's going to drop on your run and you have to pick up the better weapons. I mean, it's just basic roguelike strategy. Particularly when you're first starting out at the game, you'll need your best weapons possible if you want to get anywhere. You're gonna start off weak and underpowered. The first few times you make it to a final boss, you're gonna feel like you can't even keep up with the minions he's spawning, let alone actually take them down. Like most roguelites though, you shouldn't go into this game expecting to get to the final boss anytime soon. I know it took me like 20 plus hours on Gungeon and 20 plus hours on Isaac. Do I suck at roguelites? Every time you die, you get access to the skill tree where you can spend your hard-earned soul points. Soul points are the little purple-pink light beams that follow you around like your sorted past. You seem to get more of them the better you play, so if you're not taking damage and you're busting out sick combos, bro, then you'll get more and you'll level up quicker. You can spend them on everything from having better starting area with more weapons to choose from, consumables to start off with, or potions. Then you of course can spend them on more traditional things like stat ups as well. Every time you buy an upgrade, everything gets more expensive though, so focus early on getting the more important upgrades that you want. Just a quick note before you find out the hard way, any unused soul points will go away. There's one stat that you can upgrade that will allow you to keep some of them, but starting off, yeah, you're gonna just be throwing them away. And I can't say I really cared for this mechanic. It felt like extra padding on a game that didn't need extra padding, really pushing for that 100 hours of gameplay. But in Lost Castles' defense, there were people on the review page who I saw who had already had over 100 hours logged in pre-release, so maybe I'm wrong. As I'm sure you've noticed by now, the animation for this game look a lot like a Flash game. At first, I was a bit put off by it. Flash animation has really never been a favorite of mine. But after playing this game, I had that movie cliche moment where you take the glasses off the nerdy girl and she puts her hair down and you're like, man, I've been a shallow douchebag the whole movie. I'm sure some of you are probably even a fan of this style already, so this might be perfect for you. You fucking weirdos. The only thing that really stood out to me about the graphics was these weird demon doors and slot machines. Look so out of place. They're like hyper-realistic monster in a world of kid-friendly looking cartoon characters. Like if Adult Swim was leaking over into Saturday morning cartoons. I just really want to know if these things were designed by someone else or what the deal is with, like, what? I'm gonna quickly glance over the music as well. Much like the graphics, the music is decent enough without really standing out all too much. There's nothing that special about it, but it does its job. But let's be honest, it's a roguelike, so if you put in more than 10 hours, you're gonna turn the music off anyways and listen to your own stuff in a second window. I mean, I know personally I never would have got good at The Binding of Isaac if I wasn't pumping inspirational Rihanna in the background. Conclusion time. Lost Castles is getting a solid recommendation from me. It's fun and the gameplay is deep enough to keep you coming back for more. It's not the most visually stunning game or the most musically impressive game, but it is a good game and it is a solid game, and I think that is more than enough to justify you spending $10 for it on Steam. If you're a fan of Isaac looking for something new, or if you're new to the roguelike genre and you want to give something a try, you could do a lot worse than Lost Castles, but that is just my opinion on the matter. If you have played the game, let me know what you thought down below. As well as if you'd like to start internet beef with me down below, let me know, ya pumpkin-faced freaking frack. But hey, I love your beautiful faces, pumpkin-shaped as they may be, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. Today's coffee mug is s'mores, because it's August.